to win the conference championship. The Blazers did what only 3 other squads accomplished this season. They beat the Jazz in Utah. Early it looked like Utah had forced Game 7 as the Jazz led by 13 points in the first quarter. But the Blazers took Utah's best shot and were still standing. Porter to Buck Williams. The Blazers cut it to 4 at recess. Then Clyde to Glide Drexler dominated the third quarter. It was even Steven heading to the fourth. And then the Blazers put it away down the stretch. 105-97, the final. Highlights, interviews, and a trip down memory lane when we return. So hurry up and read the rest of this stuff, will you? So I can get back.
We'll do it.
I got a great highlight package.
Okay, I know everyone wants to see it anyway. So.
Should have all.
That's what was going on at the station here, too. After the game, that's right, after the game, many of those fans went out to an airport in Washington County to await their dream team's homecoming.
Craig Cheatham, is it getting a little bit crazy out there?
All right, guys. Hey, sorry I can't hear a thing. This feels like I'm at a rock concert right now. And the group is Blazer Mania, and it's 2,000 members strong. Right over right over here, we got the quartet from Canby. Scott, Brian, Dave, and Kerry. Guys, what time did you get out here tonight?
About 20 minutes after the game.
Made it quickly. What do you think about the NBA championship?
Chicago's in. The Blazers!
All right, guys, you saw the game tonight. What's going to be the key to the Blazers taking it all?
Duck. It's Duck, man.
All right, guys. How long are you going to hang out here tonight?
Oh, until the Blazers get here and a little bit after.
Thanks a lot, guys. They say this is the real Rip City tonight, and you got to believe it. We got about 2,000 folks here, some from Tigard, some from Troutdale. They really come from all over Southwest Washington and the Portland metro area. Police have high security here tonight. Some of the police have riot gear. About 30 cops here from 4 different agencies. They're expecting the best, but prepared for the worst. We'll come back to you if the Blazers arrive anytime soon. Back to you guys in the studio.
Right you are, Craig. We will go back to the airport if and when the Blazers show up, if they come in during the newscast.
That's right. Entrepreneurs
pulled off one of the toughest jobs in the NBA. They beat Utah in Utah and are now the Western Conference champions again. Truly a bodacious game. Utah came out the gate like we the people, stalking the Blue Edwards, slam dunk. Utah would lead by 13, but I know both coaches. I played with them in Chicago. Adelman likes to run. Buck Williams blocked Jeff Malone. Clyde grabbed it. Drexler brings it up court. Drexler to Robinson, slam dunk. Cut to 33-30 Utah at the end of 1. Utah went up 10, but Kersey and Duck kept the Blazers in it. Kersey cut it to 50-47 Utah. Duckworth nailed them with his jumper. 57-53 Utah. Utah went up 7, but Terry Porter beat the buzzer. It was cut to 59-55 Utah at recess. But Drexler scored 12 points in the third. 68-66 Portland. Then Jeff Malone lost it. Williams grabbed it to Porter. Porter to Drexler. Clyde to the bodacious slam dunk. 70-66 Blazers. Then Drexler with the jumper. It was tied at 77 after 3. Danny Ainge got it going with threes in the fourth. 80-79 Blazers. Then Cliff Robinson got in Stockton's way. Bryant grabbed it. Out to Cliff Robinson. He's gone. Slam dunk. 85-81 Portland. Then Mark Bryant, my man. 87-81 Blazers. It's getting late. Porter to Drexler. They're opening the door to the woodshed. Then Clyde to Cliff Robinson. They're pulling out the strap. 98-92 Blazers. And then they tan their fannies. Stockton can't get it. Mike Brown lost it. Robinson went to the floor and got it to Clyde Drexler. Clyde up court. There's the time left. It's to Terry Porter. Hey, it's all over, baby. Ooh, Utah. Yep, they're your Western Conference champs after they beat Utah. 105-97. So it's back to the NBA Finals as the Blazers wrap this baby up 4-2 and party in Salt Lake. The finals commence no earlier than next Wednesday. If Cleveland wins, it starts in Portland. If the Bulls win, it starts in Chi-Town. Now, check out the numbers. Clyde had 12 of those points in the third and wet bounce scoring. Big Duck had 10, and it was hustle in time for the Ducks. The Blazers held Utah to 23% shooting in the second half and allowed only 38 points. That's what championship teams are made of. Now, running and shots, and I mean running and shots, with hightailing it around the game tonight. She has a skitty on one of the Blazers' best clutch performances this season.
Another memorable game in the history of this proud franchise, but, ooh, it sure didn't start that way. John Stockton was seeing the basket oh so clearly, helping Utah zip out to that 21-8 lead. Jazz fans roaring for the rout. The Blazers not cooperating. Buck, Jerome, and a tough Portland defense cut the lead to 3 after 1. Brand new ball game.
I felt good about that. I think that kind of gave us a wake-up call, and I felt if we could just maintain through the first half. But unfortunately, we came back in the first quarter and made it a game with. And you know, you'd much rather have a team make their spurt at the beginning of the game than at the beginning of the second half.
Down the stretch, the Blazers called on execution, poise, and a big defense. Time after time, Portland forced the issue, setting up fast break buckets and frustrating the Jazz.
When we finally tied the score, I think we executed. We got the shots we wanted. We took great care of the ball, and more importantly, the defense was just very good tonight. I just can't say enough about the way the team focused in the second half. We did a great job of not allowing them to get a lot of easy opportunities, and yet in return getting some rebounds for ourselves and getting out in the break.
The Blazers did what few teams have accomplished, beating Utah at the dreaded Delta Center. The emotions were incredible. They spilled into the locker room as well when Magic Johnson paid a special visit to Clyde and Buck.
What he said, he pretty much congratulated us on winning the basketball game and told us that we have a legitimate chance of winning this year. And basically, you know, that was it. And he's such a nice guy. You know, anytime he pull you aside and tell you have a good team, well, that means a great deal.
While the Delta Center is very quiet in the Jazz defeat, the Portland Trailblazer locker room going nuts, as expected. The Blazers heading back for the NBA championship for the second time in 3 years. From Salt Lake City, Ann Schatz, Newsroom 6 Sports.
How sweet it is. You know, folks, it's just like Yogi said, it was deja vu all over again. Portland almost put the Suns away for the Western Conference Championship in the same manner 2 years ago. Now, tonight in the final seconds, Stockton could not score, and Mike Brown lost it. Robinson got it to Clyde. Clyde up court, and in the final seconds, the Blazers, Terry Porter with the easy layup to put it away. Now, 2 years ago, Kersey blocked Hornacek. Clyde got it to Kersey. 2 similar plays win the conference championship for Portland. Now, can Chuck Daly do for New Jersey what he did in Detroit? The Nets are hoping so. They named Daly as head coach today. Only 3 weeks ago, Daly left the Pistons with 2 titles on his resume. New Jersey made the playoffs this season, but under Bill Fitch, the Nets were a bickering bunch. Game 2 in the Stanley Cup Finals between Pittsburgh and Chicago. Just say Mario tied at 1 in the second, and Mario will move. Phil fires one, and it's 2-1 Penguins. Then more Super Mario. He flips it right by Eddie Belfour to make it 3-1 Pittsburgh, and that's all she wrote. 3-1 Penguins the final. They lead Chicago 2 games to diddly. From baseball tonight, the Red Sox and Angels, the Red Sox, Boston beat California, and the Rangers are in first after beating the White Sox. Meantime, the Royals bop Detroit, and the Cubs blank the Giants this afternoon, and the Beavers lose to Vancouver over at the stadium. Go Portland Trailblazers.
That's right, and you used to have a lot more hair, I noticed, in your playing days.
Well, yeah, you know, you have times for those kind of, when you have just leisurely time of sports and jock life. So. Good to sit between Jerry and Rick for that team picture, though.
You look tough in those days. We're not done with the Blazers yet. Later on, we're going back out to the Washington County Airport, and next, Randy has a Rose City forecast.
Gotta talk to you, man.
Alan?
Hi, Mom.
That person you gave our number to called about leaving AT&T for MCI and hassled us about this friends and family plan.
Alan, Doug, this friends
and family... At AT&T, your family and friends are your business. Keeping you connected to them is ours.
It's Gail.
Gail?
The sales guy called and said you gave him my number. Thanks a lot.
It's just not worth it.
The top 5 reasons for buying a new Mazda truck. You can't move a piano in a hatchback. Its basic warranty is unsurpassed in its class. They've sold over 1 million, with 90% still on the road. Now get $1,400 cash back from Mazda on the #1 reason for buying a new Mazda truck. You can't have a tailgate party until you have a tailgate.
At Herzog Meyer, Murray, Moore, Link, Tonkin, DeLon, Vancouver, and Midway Mazda now.
Here's something you should know.
Athlete's foot fungus grows beneath the surface of your skin. So, to cure it, you've got to get down to the root of the problem, to the source of that burning and itching. You need Mycotin.
Mycotin penetrates the surface of your skin with miconazole to cure athlete's foot where it grows.
Oh, thanks.
So why treat just the surface?
Get down to the cure. Step up to the Mycotin.
Cars simply sell for less in Vancouver, and the reasons are simple. Vancouver auto dealers pay lower property taxes and no state income tax. Lower overhead means lower prices. Oregon buyers do not pay sales tax in Vancouver. No sales tax means lower prices. Washington state interest rates have historically been lower than Oregon's. Lower interest rates mean lower prices. If you live in Vancouver, you already know. If you live in Portland, come and find out. Cars simply sell for less
in Vancouver. Newsroom 6 Weather is brought to you by Midas Muffler and Brake Shops.
Randy stepped in with the weather right now, and we only have a few more days to get rain in May. Is that right?
That's right. Sunday night is the last few hours of May, and if we don't get any rain tonight and tomorrow morning, that's going to be it for the month because we're heading into a warm, dry weekend. Let's look at the satellite picture, see what our chance for rain is for tonight and tomorrow morning. Drizzling right now on the northern Washington coast, Forks and Quileute, those areas through here. And there's a chance that some of that could sink down as far as Portland, Astoria, but chances declining. Now we're looking at max, about a 20% chance of precipitation, very light rain or drizzle tonight and tomorrow morning, and I really don't think it's going to happen. Now that I've taken a look at outside and seen that it is partly cloudy at 61 degrees, north wind at 5, humidity 84%. Let's take a look at the high temperatures for the area for today. Pretty warm. 75 degrees, that's above average. We should be about 70 this time of year. 76 in Salem, 75 Eugene. Coastal conditions in the 60s except for Brookings. They check in with 81 today, mid-70s east of the mountains. Here's our more distant satellite view. Cold front been laying offshore here for a few days now. We'll get ever so much closer tonight. Here is a second system that'll be working through. But the higher pressure that it has to work into is just going to be too strong. It'll push that back and away from us. So onshore flow tomorrow for some clouds in the morning, but then for the weekend an offshore flow, and by Sunday and Monday of next week, the 1st of June, we're looking at temperatures well above average, 15, 16, 17 degrees above average, which would put us into the mid and upper 80s. Let's take a look at the forecast for tonight. Higher pressure strong east of the mountains, so you'll get a good look at the moon there. Just a little bit of high, thin cloud cover, but not too much. Redmond, 43 overnight. 44 in Baker City, 52 in Pendleton. West of the mountains, clouds will be a little bit thicker. You can see I've drawn in a few raindrops over the Portland area and the coastal areas. That's more wishful thinking than it is likelihood. Temperature overnight lows, 48 in Medford, 49 Eugene. Look for about 49 in Salem, 52 in Astoria. The Dalles also 52 degrees. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning west of the mountains and then plenty of afternoon sunshine, and I think the temperatures will push into the mid-70s west of the mountains. Same story east side, too. 75 for Eugene, 81 for Medford, North Bend about 65. Here's the local forecast for tonight. Cloudy, slight chance of some light rain or sprinkles. And remember, if it doesn't come by tomorrow, it's not going to come for the month of May, and that's going to leave us the driest month of May ever. Not by a little, by a lot, too. We'll only have a 9 or 10 hundredths of an inch for the entire month. Friday, morning drizzle possibility, and then after that, that's it until Tuesday. But there could be some fundamental changes in the weather for next week, so maybe June will be that wet month we've been waiting so long for.
Yep. Rose Festival comes along, brings it with it. Thanks, Randy.
When we come back, we'll join thousands of fans at the Washington County Airport waiting for the Blazers.
Think about who you'll be driving around over the next, say, 7 days. That's how long your dealer said it would take before he could fix your brakes. At Midas, we think that's exactly 7 days too long. Because our experts can fix them right the very same day you bring in your car. And that's something to think about today. Midas, because your brakes can't wait.
In the real world, we all want a lot for a little. Well, here's a real advantage from your Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealers. The Northwest Voyager. Here's the lot. Automatic, air, rear window defroster, a driver's minivan airbag, seating for 7, child protection sliding door lock, and convenient cup holders. And here's the little. It's only $14,920. The Northwest Voyager. It's a lot for a little, but it's only for a little time, so hurry. Get a real advantage for the real world at your local Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealer now.
Last month, we were on our biggest job when a bad storm started moving in. I found a phone. Too bad I couldn't find my calling card. So I got a calling card from US West. Now I can call from anywhere with no access codes or long ID numbers to memorize, just 4 numbers I choose. That's so simple, I don't even need to carry a card. Now calling to update our schedule is the easy part of my day.
Call for your free US West Communications calling card, the card you don't even need to carry. US West, making the most of your time.
Nissan Pathfinder. On a daily basis, it can be cheaper to lease one than to park one. Lease a Pathfinder XE V6 just $10 a day for 36 months. Nissan Sentra. On a daily basis, it can be more expensive to wash one than to lease one. Sentra XE, just $5 a day for 36 months.
Well, earlier we estimated that about 2,000 fans are waiting for the Western Conference champions to return home.
That's right. I bet there are a lot more than that now. And Craig Cheatham is standing by. Craig, how many are there out there?
Well, we've got about 2,500 folks here, die-hard Blazer believers. As you can see, quite a few police in front here. Some of them are even wearing Blazers caps. All right. Look, we got heavy police protection here tonight. They're asking people to not bring booze in here. We don't know when the Blazers will be arriving. We have about 2,500 folks that are chanting, "We want Clyde, we want the Bulls." We've got folks here from Tigard, you name it, Troutdale, Vancouver. They're from all over Southwest Washington and the Portland metro area. Maul the Jazz. These guys have been having some kind of party tonight, and they expect the party to continue for quite some time. The biggest thrill for them right now would be for that plane to arrive and for them to see their Blazers. Back to you in the studio.
Well, most people don't know it's a school night, apparently. Thank you very much, Craig Cheatham.
That's right. Just 2 years ago, I was out there, and it was just a fantastic opportunity to see the people. A Clatsop County logger to the rescue. Bambi is in good hands tonight. The logger set aside his duties when he found a young fawn alone in the woods near Warrington. Mother deer was nowhere to be seen, so he took the baby to the nearest pet clinic. Walt Disney would have loved to have seen the fawn trying to walk on the slippery floor.
Oh, not on the floor. Where's Bambi? What floor? Bambi on ice. Yes. Bambi on ice.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
After a little snack, the fawn was whisked to an animal rehabilitation clinic near Tillamook. They hope someday he'll be back in his natural habitat in northeastern Oregon, and he's from the northeastern Oregon Coast Range.
Where is that? Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.
Well, that's what it said here. Good night.
Entertainment Tonight, weeknights at 7:30 on KOIN TV. We now join this program in progress.
Programs, including new GI Bill benefits and an expansion of job training, employment, and other educational opportunities. Whether they're working as teachers in an elementary school or as environmental engineers, I am committed to ensuring that the vast talents of these former defense personnel can be put to productive use in private life.
The Bush plan would spend more than $1 billion from 1993 through 96 to help both deactivated military and civilians affected by cutbacks. By the end of this fiscal year, there will be nearly 300,000 fewer men and women in uniform than just 3 years ago.
House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Dan Rostenkowski says he has received no indication that he is a target of any grand jury investigation. The Washington Post has reported that a House Post Office supervisor made that charge to prosecutors. He reportedly said Rostenkowski had received cash for stamp vouchers at the now-defunct House Post Office.
Census figures released on Thursday offer some interesting insights on the way we live. Nearly 60% of mothers with youngsters under the age of 6 are working mothers. That is up almost 15% from a decade ago. And of Americans driving to work, more than 84 million, over 73% drive to work alone. That is despite all the programs to promote carpooling and taking local transit systems.
The U.S. dollar took a dive in Tokyo trading today. That helped Japanese stock prices head higher. The Nikkei